Have you ever noticed something strange about power? Sometimes the person sitting at the very top, the person with the biggest title, the person with the most authority, the grandest office, is also the person most at risk of making terrible decisions. Because once everyone around you starts saying, "Yes, Your Majesty," something dangerous happens. Slowly, you stop hearing the truth. And honestly, that still happens today. Only now it doesn't happen inside a palace. It happens in boardrooms, inside project meetings, inside companies, inside leadership teams. And because whether someone wears a dragon robe or a corporate blazer, human behavior has not changed very much. So today, let's talk about the 7 Chinese emperors and the surprisingly modern leadership lessons hidden inside their stories. Because some of them built greatness, some destroyed everything while believing they were brilliant. And if we're not careful, we can do exactly the same in our own careers. Qin Shi Huang, the leader who unified everything, trusted fear too much. Imagine inheriting a world where every state fights each other constantly. No peace, no stability, different rules everywhere, different money, different writing systems. It will feel like trying to manage a company where every department uses different software, different language, different reportings, and different standards. And that was China before Qin Shi Huang. And he did something extraordinary. He unified it. He standardized writing, weights, road systems, and even Excel bits or cards. That is serious system thinking. He understood something many leaders miss. You cannot scale chaos. Even everything works differently forever. Eventually, nothing connects. But here is where brilliance becomes danger. He ruled through fear, extreme punishment, heavy control, suspicions. He trusted obedience more than trust. And eventually people obeyed him, but they did not support him. And the lesson here is leaders can force order, but fear creates silent people, not committed people. And silent people often wait quietly for your system to collapse. In today's office, this is the boss that nobody challenges. The meeting looks smooth, but after the meeting, everyone complains quietly. And this is not alignment. That is delayed collapse. Emperor number 2, Emperor Wu of Han, the leader who expanded big but burned resources. This emperor was ambitious, very ambitious. He expanded territory massively, strengthened central government, and made China powerful. He looked like a superstar leader, the kind companies would celebrate. Oh, look at how much we grew. But growth has a hidden question. At what cost? Because while he expanded aggressively, wars became expensive, taxes became heavy, and people suffered. And this happens today too. A manager launches 10 initiatives. Everything sounds impressive. New programs, new dashboards, new targets. But the team underneath is exhausted. People are smiling in PowerPoints and dying in Excel. A leader must understand not every expansion is a healthy growth. And sometimes growth without breathing space becomes organizational fatigue. A company can look successful and still be internally tired. Emperor number 3, Chang Taizong, the rare leader who allowed criticism. This emperor did something rare. He allowed ministers to disagree with him. Imagine that. An emperor hearing, "Your Majesty, that is a bad idea," and not punishing the person. One advisor, Wei Zheng, corrected him often, and instead of removing him, Tang Taizong kept him close, because smart leaders know praise feels good, correction keeps you alive. In modern work life, this matters hugely. If nobody in your team can tell you this may fail, you're already in danger. A leader without honest feedback is like driving with beautiful music but no dashboard. The engine may be already burning, and sometimes the strongest leaders in the room is not the one who speaks the most. It is the one who can tolerate discomfort. Because truth is often uncomfortable before it becomes useful. Emperor number 4, Wu Zetian, the leader who outsmarted a system built against her. Imagining entering a world designed to exclude you and still rising to the very top. And that was Wu Zetian. She understood politics deeply, timing, alliances, talent selection. She was capable. She promoted capable people beyond family background, and that was powerful because many systems reward familiarity, and she often rewarded capability. And today, this still matters. Some workplaces still quietly operate like this. I know him, so I trust him. But strong leaders would ask, who can actually do the job, not who feels comfortable to me. And sometimes leadership means seeing talent where old systems do not. And yes, she was ruthless too, because survival at that level demanded hard choices, which reminds us power often tests character in complicated ways. Not everything is clean, not every leadership story is simple. Emperor number 5, Song Huizhou, brilliant taste but weak leadership. This emperor loved art, poetry, calligraphy, beauty. He was very talented, but leadership has a cruel timing because while he focused on refinement, external threats grew stronger and eventually disaster came. And this teaches something uncomfortable. Being gifted is not enough. You can be elegant, intelligent, creative, and still fail if you ignore what is approaching. And in today's workplace, some managers are amazing at presentations. Beautiful slides, beautiful language, beautiful strategy documents. But when crisis hits, nobody knows who makes decisions. Leadership is not tested when things are calm. It is tested when uncertainty enters the room, because storms do not care how beautiful your slides are. Emperor number 6, Kangxi Emperor, the leader who stayed curious for decades. Kangxi ruled for a very long time, and one reason he lasted because he kept learning science, geography, administration. He listened broadly and he studied deeply. And that matters because many leaders stop learning once they become senior. At some point, they quietly think, I already know enough. And that's the beginning of decline. Because the world changes whether your title changes or not. So today it looks like this. A senior manager who still asks junior people, what are you seeing that I may be missing? This question is powerful because experience matters, but fresh reality matters too. The best leaders do not become smaller learners as they become bigger titles. They become bigger learners. Emperor number 7, Puyi, the title without real power. Puyi became emperor as a child, but history had already changed. He had title, ceremony, symbol, but little true control. And this may be the most modern lesson of all, because today many people have titles, but little influence. A title can open a door, but influence decides whether people will follow. You may officially become the manager, but if nobody trusts you, your authority becomes decoration, like wearing a crown in an empty room. Real leadership is when people still listen, even when your title is not in the room. So, the final reflection is, what do these emperors teach us? Across thousands of years, human leadership still struggles the same thing. Ego, fear, ambition, feedback, trust, timing, and learning. The palace changed. The meeting room changed. The clothes changed. But human nature? Not very much. Maybe that is why history still feels strangely personal. Because when we hear about emperors, sometimes we are actually hearing about ourselves, or our bosses, or the person we may become one day. And maybe the real question is, if power came to you tomorrow, which emperor would you slowly become? If you like this video, remember to subscribe and ask yourself this. If power came to you tomorrow, which emperor would you slowly become? I'll see you in the next video. Bye.